Albania is one of those small countries that constantly flies under the radar. People seem to not know too much about it. In short, it's a small Balkan country with less than 3 million residents. In fact, there's actually more Albanians living outside of the country. 70% of the country is mountainous, and 40% of the population is involved with farming. For nearly 4 decades, ending in the mid-1980s, no one could enter or leave Albania due to a paranoid communist leader. And during that time, the paranoid leader built over 750,000 bunkers throughout the country. But we're here for one thing: food. Let's get to it. Our first stop is here at Cafe Komiteti. It's actually called Cafe Museum. I don't think it's actually a museum. I think it's just the decoration in here makes it kind of feel like a museum. It's a very authentic Albanian feeling in here. And also, maybe it's pronounced Cafe Komiteti, based on the picture that's over here behind me. Not 100% sure. But we're starting off with some coffee because I read that Albania actually has the most coffee shops per capita. So of course, we had to start off with some coffee. And we also ordered some raki because here in Albania, it's very common to drink raki in the morning, afternoon, at night, pretty much whenever. So we're here in Albania, we're trying to be authentic, so we're gonna start it the right way. And we also got some food, so it should be all coming out shortly.
Anis. Honey and cinnamons. Okay, it's very good. Enjoy. Thank you.
Cheers to my very first coffee here in Albania. Perfetto. This also seems like it was an intellectual cafe because there's remnants of so much history, a lot of books, and it's very reminiscent of the communist era, if I can say that. But it's a very cool cafe. We're starting off very simple, very easy, but very fabulous. One of the best and most favorite Albanian dishes here is an Albanian pie known as burek, and it can be with cheese or meat. The one we got today is cheese and spinach, I believe, and it's layers of incredibly flaky dough, all cooked together. And it's usually accompanied with cold yogurt or a beverage called dale that we haven't had yet. But to your health, Albania. It's almost like an omelet bread in my mouth, if that makes any sense. Delicious.
The perfect way to wash down this burek is with some raki, of course. And to be completely honest, me and Paulie got here yesterday, and we stopped at a bar last night to have one drink. And the next thing you know, the bartender just kept feeding us more raki. So I'm not feeling 100% today, but me and Paulie we're pulling through this. We're gonna eat a lot of food and we'll feel a lot better. But this raki is to not be confused with the raki from Turkey. That raki in Turkey is more of like an ouzo, like a Greek ouzo, and this is more of a brandy. It's a little sweeter, but it's really good, really strong. And this menu has like 10 or 15 different flavored rakis, and I got the anise flavor. It's good. It burns, but it's good.
So, headache be gone because we're replacing a headache with more raki to not have a rocky start. But the other thing that we learned is that when you go to a bar, they'll have the regular labeled beautiful bottles that they sell in the marketplace. That's one type. Or you will get the kind that they make, if you go into the village and someone makes them in their house, that's a different kind, and that's absolutely more potent. And so last night, the bartender, he showed us the ones, with the label, the pretty ones, and then he had the one that his dad made in a giant gallon, a big gallon of like this glass, and that's the one that he kept giving us. So maybe that's why we're having a little bit of a rough start, but it's only gonna get better, and I wouldn't take it back. Cheers.
Off to stop number 2, we're walking right by the, I believe this is called the Lena River. It goes right through the city. And also, something I've read for years, I've heard it's not true, but literally for years I've always heard this, that in Albania, this means no, and this means yes, that it's opposite. But I've asked 2 Albanians so far, and they say it's not true. So I don't know why it's such a common thing I always hear if it's not true. So let me know below if it is or not. So I'm very curious. If I'm right, you go like this, right?
I was gonna say that, yeah. Go like this if he's wrong, and like this if you agree. We are at Detari fish, and we got a dental fish and in an octopus salad. And I don't know if this happens to you guys, but sometimes when I'm in a different country and they have an accent, I don't mean to do it, but I accidentally I have an accent like them. So I asked for red wine and the guy said red, and I said, yes, red. My mom used to do it all the time, and I hope they don't think I'm making fun of them, but it just came out. I'd like to think it's my Albanian coming out. But anyways, we're getting seafood at the Tari Fish. Ooh la la.
Thank you so much. Beer just came out. It's a new one I haven't tried. It's a local beer. It's called Keong. I have no idea, but it looks great. So far, this place is awesome. You just walk in and there's a bunch of seafood on ice, and you kind of just point to what you want. The fish we got, he recommended. He said it's the best, so of course that's what we went with. And now, let's try the local beer. What a sound. Cheers. Ooh, that's good. There's nothing better than a nice, cold, local beer on your first day of eating a feast of food. It's one of my favorite things. So right now, I'm in heaven.
And voila, my red wine has arrived. Yet to learn how to pronounce cheers. So until then, salud. The octopus salad has arrived. It's simple, it's beautiful, it looks like it's gonna taste like heaven.
So the first place we went to, amazing. This place, amazing. I'm worried the next few places that we decide to go to won't be nearly as cool, but I think there's so many cool places here. I have faith that we'll find something good. This octopus looks amazing, and you can tell there's a bunch of olive oil on there. I heard Albania uses a lot of olive oil on their food, which I'm a fan of. Wow, perfect, fresh. And also, if you look on a map, Albania is super close to Italy. Like, I could throw a baseball right now to Italy and hit someone in the head in like Rome or something. And because of that, there's so much Italian food around here, and it looks amazing. But since we're here in Albania doing a food video, we're trying to do Albanian food. But maybe off camera, I'm sure we're gonna go get some amazing Italian food.
Something I also really love about Albania is that the majority of people, if not at least most people here, have a sense of Italian. So I get to practice my Italian here. And the other thing in regards to the Albanian cuisine is that it's a mixture of Mediterranean and Balkan cuisine. And it used to be part of the Ottoman Empire, so there's all these influences with the olive oil, with the spices, with the way they cook things. And it's a mishmash. It's a mixture that I haven't really had before. So it's a delight to experience this new kind of cuisine. I'm sure Luke would agree, right? He agrees. He went.
So the fish has arrived, perfectly cooked, nice and crispy, with still some really nice white meat on the inside. And being here, it kind of reminds me of being in Sri Lanka or Iraq, where we got to see the fish, choose it. And luckily here, unlike Iraq, where we chose a fish and then the guy hit it in the head with a bat. I'm happy that we didn't have to do that for this. It was already dead. It was already clubbed. It's not in front of us. The skin is nice and crispy. Once you lift it up, there's some really nice chunks of white meat in there. Wow. Wow, that is cooked perfectly. I love like a whole cooked fish. There's really nothing better than that. So we were just leaving, and for the whole fish, the octopus, beer,
And the wine.
and the wine, it was $22, 23.
About $22 with tip.
Yeah, which is nuts. Back home, we would never get that. But now it's almost 4:30. It's getting darker, and after all this food, all the beer, the wine, the Rocky, we just need to digest a little bit. And
Just need to relax and take it easy for a second.
yes, and I think we have the perfect idea of what to do. Best $2 I've ever spent.
I love you, Mom! Oh my God! That's a concussion.
It's us and a bunch of little kids. And these little kids are about to eat my shit.
Oh, disclaimer. Also, those little kids had it in for us. They were.
Yeah, I really hope none of those children's parents were in the Albanian mob, because my head might be taken off after that. So today's a new day. We got a little too full yesterday, so we decided to start the day off on this janky ride.
I don't know what's more embarrassing. Jumping up and down, or it's just us two.
It's the best way to start the day. Oh yeah. Oh my God. Holy shit. Oh my God. Oh my God.
One free. You want to stay one?
Hell no. I can't. No, it's okay.
Hey, okay, free for you.
I'm too dizzy. Too dizzy.
Okay, okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was thrilling. A little painful, but so worth it. And I'm so happy we didn't go back a second time, because I don't know if I would have lived to see 2023.
It was on the craziest ride I've ever done. I feel like they really made it go crazy because we're foreigners. I don't know. But yeah, that was nuts. It hurt. I couldn't even stand up for like 30 seconds. I had to force myself to get up. But yeah, now we have a nice appetite after our stomachs were all shaking around. So let's get some more food. My name's Luke Heater. Welcome to Tirana, Albania. We've arrived to our next destination. I think this is kind of like a touristy hotspot type thing. And I know we said we're not going to go to nicer places, but I think I got a concussion on that ride, so now I'm thinking differently. So here we are at Oda. And it's a nice little garden here. It looks awesome.
And the food has arrived. We got some forgese, which is a very traditional type of Albanian food, and it means it's a summer stew, and it's made out of cottage cheese, garlic, onion, and peppers. And it's called a summer stew because what I read is in Albania they like to eat it after it's gone cold. So typically they'll wait 2 to 3 hours so that the consistency is a little bit thicker. I absolutely love cottage cheese, and this is by far the most excited I've been for food. And that's saying a lot because the food here has been incredible. I'm in heaven. 10 out of 10. I could have this every day for breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
So first off, I'm trying a new beer. It's the Bira Tirana, but it also says Kukalache or something. I'm not sure, but as like all the beer here, it's very good. Now comes time for me to try my meal. the calo face. I think that's how you say it. And it says it is lamb inner portion, rice, eggs, and spices. I'm not sure what the inner portion is. I asked a guy if it was stomach or intestines, and he said yes. So I'm guessing it's one of those. I wouldn't think that was like any weird part of the animal at all. It almost tastes like bacon, kind of. I'm not sure what it is, but surprisingly very, very, very good. And you can taste the egg too in there. Almost has like an omelet consistency. And it's also really quiet in here, so I feel like I'm whispering.
It looks like a quiche to me. Luke says it almost tastes like bacon, so let's see what happens. It tastes livery for sure. Yeah, it tastes like liver more than intestines that I can remember.
Maybe that's what it is.
Maybe it's liver?
Yeah.
Looks like liver. Liver! Not so bad. It's just a mental thing for me. But Luke loves the inner. He loves the guts. He's got guts.
So I just looked it up on Google, and inside of this calo face is liver. And a lot of people are scared of liver, but when it's cooked perfectly like this is, it really just tastes like ordinary meat to me. It has like a little bit of a different taste, but it just tastes like a different kind of meat that you would order at a restaurant. I enjoy it. So we just got to Zagara Fierza, and Zagara means grill, and I'm not sure what Fierza means. I'm guessing like fire, but pretty much this is like it's a meat place. They have a grill here behind us. You can smell it from like a mile away. You see smoke going up in the air. We ordered a bunch of things. The first thing to come out is kofta meatballs, even though it's more of a meat stick than a ball. We tried this in a bunch of different countries. It's always different, so I'm excited to try the Albanian twist on this one. I could eat a plate of just this. Luckily it didn't come with too many because we ordered a bunch of things, but wow, that is perfect. You can taste the fire in it, you can taste the grill, all the seasoning in there, it's great. So the next two things we have is a grilled cheese, which I think is feta, and then also a Kosovo sausage. When I look up the Kosovo sausage, it says it is a dry, spicy, fermented sausage, which is consumed in several Balkan and Middle Eastern countries. So I'm gonna cut into this sausage, and it feels nice and crispy. I can feel the crispiness. And the feta is actually a little harder than I thought. So let's mix the two. The two together is perfect, and the sausage definitely is a little spicy. Like the perfect amount of spiciness, and the cheese helps. It's like the perfect mix, if you will.
One thing you should know about me, I love charcuterie. I'm terrible at describing food. I can only describe feelings, and this is ecstasy, maybe? Maybe that's a little much, but it's unbelievably good. So savory, so tasty. Luke mentioned there was a lot of, like, it was, there was fat in it, but not too fatty, but it's perfect. It doesn't taste like there's a lot of fat. It just tastes like it's a rush of, your taste buds will explode. It's delicious.
The sausage, like warm and crispy with the cheese to kind of melt it together as you chew it. It's the perfect combo. And to wash down the perfect combo, to make it a trifecta, is a nice cold Tirana beer. As if we haven't had enough food already, we now our veal chops came out. I'm pretty sure it's veal. It was on the menu. It was V-I-L-L, veal. I'm pretty sure they meant veal. Let's try this. It was the last thing to come out. I think it was cooking nice and long over the fire, nice and crispy. Perfection. Also, I've been meaning to say this since we got here. We walked by this place a few times since we've been in Tirana, and it's always crowded with locals. I think this is like a local favorite. And just having this food, these 3 or 4 items that we've had, I can tell why. This place is cooked to perfection. The waiters are really nice. Good beer, good Rocky, good company, and great veal.